Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slays. Welcome on, my friends. Happy Monday. Apologies on the delay. You know the drill. Shower, had to get some coffee, had to get ready for the session. You know what I'm saying? Had to get ready for the session. So, how we doing today, man? How we doing? Today is Monday, June 10th, 2024. Second episode of June. Very cool. Very cool. We had a crazy busy week. Whole lot of stuff to go over realistically, but, like I said, I'm your host, Sam Slays, and I hope you're well, hope you're chilling. Welcome on in, my friends. This is episode 177 of the Music Mondays podcast. What's good? I dry my eyes, I see you in chat. What's cracking, homie? Hope you're well. So let's pull up some weekly recap, Jazz. And let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. It's already starting to get warm here on the East Coast. I think it's like gonna be like 70s and 80s all week, so it's really getting to that like East Coast summer, you know what I mean? I definitely got to put my AC in soon. I would assume at some point this month. When? I don't know. But at some point this month for sure. So, all right, weekly recap, Jazz. Let's get into it. Okay, so what happened at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so? Music Mondays basic logo t-shirts are in stock right now at limited quantities. We actually just put out some nice promo for that last week, so definitely go check that out. We have smalls, mediums, larges. We're sold out of XLs and double XLs, so just let us know if you want to grab any of those. I think we're going to put the rest of them on the site as an easier way for you guys to just go and grab them until they're sold out. So be on the lookout for that too. So we kicked off Tuesday with some early access content on our Patreon. Episode 176 of the Music Mondays podcast went live there early for your viewing and download pleasure. If you wanted to use it for promo, just watch it back. You wanted to cut some segments out, things like that. So if you're interested in that, we have a lot of early access stuff over on the Patreon right now, and unlimited downloads and things like that. So definitely go check that out. So Wednesday we dropped SoundCloud Sunday submissions. Thursday we rolled in with a new YouTube upload. Curing Cases of Mondays Collection 2 submissions close June 7th. YouTube upload is live on our channel right now. So last week I spoke a little bit about Curing Cases of Mondays again, when submission closes, and things like that. So that's live on the channel right now. Definitely go check that out. Kind of broke down the project in detail and things like that. So as of right now, and this recording, and we're live, submissions are closed, obviously. So now we're gonna take this week to get the track list together, a whole bunch of stuff like that. So you should see the full final track list this Friday go live everywhere. So stay tuned for that. But Curing Cases of Mondays Collection 2 submissions close. YouTube upload is available right now. Definitely go check that out. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. We're pushing towards 280. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Exclusive segments just like that one. Full podcast episodes, underground tips and tricks. A whole lot of good jazz over there. So go show that some love. And huge shout out to anybody that already did. We pushed into Friday with a brand new article by the homie Ray Lowe. Ray actually had a wonderful interview with an artist by the name of JHL. That's a really great read, so definitely go check that out. Huge shout out to Ray. Make sure you go show Ray some love as well. Wonderful, talented Music Mondays veteran. Moving into Friday as well, Underground Classics Volume 16 is live on our SoundCloud by me. I curated that one this week. I actually curated the last couple just because I have such a big archive of like old like 2014 to like 2019 era of underground shit. So I always like to make sure we throw Underground Classics out there and get that updated. For those of you that don't know, Underground Classics is our monthly playlist where we kind of bring back tracks from the past that got us introduced to the underground. Got us into underground music. Maybe you started creating music. A lot of the veterans, a lot of the OGs, just as a way to not really forget any of those times and to show some respect to the veterans that laid the path for all of us to create fucking insane music. So that's the point of Underground Classics for sure. But Volume 16 is live right now. Definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Episode 176 of the Music Mondays podcast dropped on Saturday on YouTube and, of course, on all audio platforms YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we are there. And if we're not, let us know because we can get it there. But most people just use like Spotify and a lot of the kind of like regular kind of platforms. So definitely let us know if that's something that you'd like to see us dive into for sure, because we're always happy to put the show on any other store, you know what I mean? But episode 176 is available everywhere, and huge shout out to everybody that submitted, tuned in, came through, and showed love. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Let's see here. So moving on to Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday volume 138, available right now on our SoundCloud. And that is a crazy volume. All of the Music Mondays curators actually got in on this one. So we had a really stacked list for volume 138. So definitely go check that out and go show everybody some love. Even if you didn't make the playlist, make sure you submit every single Wednesday. And of course, huge shout out to everybody that even just submitted and things like that, because you guys are what keeps that playlist bumping. So, but that's a really stacked one. That was curated by myself, Avanko, and Waterfalls. So that's why you see such a great variety there. But yeah, very swag. I agree. Very swag. Definitely. So that was SoundCloud Sunday volume 138. And of course, here we are Monday, June 10th. So that was your weekly recap, my friends. That's what's been going down at Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so, or over the course of the last week or so, I should say. But we are going to talk about what's coming up over the next week or so. That shit was gas, though. I really like volume 138. I really do. Volume 138 is a banger. I like when all the curators actually come through and we can like put together these like insane like just compilations, man. Like, because Water's from the UK, so Water has like this great like EU kind of flavor, and then Avanko has like this really great like alternative variety. So it's a great stack, man. It's a great stack. I agree. But let's see here. So let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Recruiting, SoundCloud exclusives, all that good jazz. Gonna talk a little bit about the album again, and then we'll hop into some reactions and reviews per usual. You guys know the motherfucking drill. So let's talk what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Well, let's see here. So the main thing, the number one thing that we're like super hyper focused on is obviously curing cases of the Mondays Collection 2. We have the majority of the tracks in. A couple loosies got sent in kind of late, but we still accepted them. But now all submissions are closed and we are ready to go. So some more updates on that later, but of course over the course of the next 2 weeks, you'll see a lot of the final content go out for the album, which I'm really excited about, because we have a couple cool things planned, you know. But that's one thing that we're like absolutely hyper focused on. And then, like I was saying, we're gonna move into Cyberfest 2 talks, which is our URL Discord festival that we host online. Cyberfest 2 is going to be really legendary just because we haven't touched the concept of Cyberfest since 2022. And much like I said last week, make sure you go check out Cyberfest 1. The whole event is available on our YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure, along with everybody's individual sets. So go show that some love for sure. But as soon as album stuff is finalized, we're going to start discussing event dates and things like that. I think we're aiming for I think July or August, around that area. So keep your eyes peeled for some ideas and some drops and some announcements regarding that for sure. And of course, Music Mondays merch is available right now, so we're trying to get the rest of those out and shipped to anybody who wants them. So those big three things are what's like super important. Summer of Music Mondays continues, my friends. But I'm really excited about the album. I'm really excited. We haven't leaked any of the tracks. We haven't told anybody the track list yet, and who's on the project and things like that. So we have a lot of cool stuff on the way. It sounds sick. Yeah, Cyberfest 2 is going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool. I think the main thing is just like figuring out like a proper date, you know. Most likely a Saturday. Um, just because I think that'll work. Probably a Saturday, but we'll see. Kind of depends on everybody's schedule, you know. Saturday's way better than Sunday, I think. Yeah, because I feel like everybody's kind of like low energy on Sunday, you know. So, and Friday, you got to think people might be at work. Um, even for people that still go to school, college, shit like that. So, I think Friday is probably not gonna. People go to church and stuff on Sundays. Yeah, true. Sunday's a very relaxed day. So I definitely think we're gonna lean towards more Saturday for sure. I think Saturday is probably the play. 100%. So, um, yes. So those big three things are what we're hyper focusing on here, at Music Mondays. So you'll see some really cool album stuff, pop out over the course of the next week. We're gonna talk about some more album jazz here in a sec, but two more things. We are recruiting. Music Mondays is on the hunt for all of our staff roles. We're in the hunt for writers, journalists, designers, curators, short form media people, anybody who wants to do short form content for Music Mondays or just wants to join the team and help contribute to our mission. So let us know. And we have a wonderful role guide on the YouTube channel where we kind of broke down each of the Music Monday staff roles, what they consist of, what you're expected to do, what the schedule is like, and things like that. So definitely go check that out if you're interested in any staff roles, or send us a message because we'll be happy to have that conversation with you for sure. But Music Mondays is recruiting, definitely. And of course, SoundCloud exclusives. So we will be dropping our second SoundCloud exclusive album in about 2 weeks, June 21st, I believe. So outside of that, if you'd like to get a unreleased exclusive track hosted on the Music Monday SoundCloud and promoted for free across all of our socials, definitely let us know because we'd love to have that and post you on our platform. Just because it's a way to show our supporters some love over there, but also at the same time, we really just want to preserve certain music and certain things on our SoundCloud, and just as a different way to show some artists some love. You know what I mean? Because that's obviously very important. So, kind of like a collaborative drop. Might send an EP through. Yeah, whatever works, whatever's clever. I'm definitely down. EP, another single, absolutely. And of course, same thing goes for YouTube as well. If you're interested in getting a visual, lyric video, or even you want your audio hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel of almost 300 subscribers, and of course, hosted and promoted for free across all of our socials, definitely let us know because YouTube and SoundCloud are pretty much the same. So that'll be something that we kind of talk about here more in the future because I really want to get some new stuff hosted on the channel, just because I think it'll be a great thing for the channel, for artists, for everybody. So YouTube is very important for sure. But so those two things, exclusives and recruiting, per usual. So those are always happening. Definitely let us know if you're interested in either of those for sure. So we did weekly recap. We talked about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. And we talked exclusives and we talked recruiting. So one thing I want to talk about before we get into some reactions and reviews is Curing Cases of Mondays Collection 2. So let's talk a little bit of dates here. And let's talk when everything is dropping. So I didn't announce this publicly yet, and you guys will have the solid details this week. But we have all our tracks accepted. We're getting the track list order together now. And Friday, so at the time of this recording, this is the 10th. So I believe Friday is the 14th. Yeah, 14th. On the 14th, we will be announcing the track list and the whole album lineup, and of course with the cover art and things like that. And then the full project will drop on the 21st of this month. So we got about 2 weeks left of some good promo, and a whole lot of good stuff going down. We're gonna try to get a couple of articles up on the site as well, just to really start talking about the project and things like that. So yeah, those are some rough dates. And again, submissions are closed. We may or may not do another album this year. We might revisit the idea in winter if the demand kind of calls for it, because usually how it goes is like the project will drop and then everybody's like, "Oh, I had no idea this was going on," and they're like, "Let me know when you're doing another one," kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see if there's some demand for a collection 3, because I'd love to do a collection 3 for sure. But collection 2, again, full track list will be announced this Friday, June 14th. The full project will drop on the 21st of this month. And again, I just want to give a personal thanks from myself to everybody that submitted, actually followed directions, and actually wanted to be a part of something like this, because this is our second album. But again, we've kind of doubled in size as a platform, so we have way more to pick through and things like that. So very, very important. And I just want to personally thank everybody that did submit a track and everybody that went out of their way to get us a track for this project. You're definitely going to love the final outcome, and I think it's going to be really fucking sick. For sure. So, thank you, Zom. No, thank you, my friend. I much, much appreciate it. Let's fucking get it. So yeah, big thank you to everybody that submitted and actually wanted to be a part of this, because this will be exciting. So again, Collection 2 dropping June 21st. Tracklist will be announced at the end of this week, June 14th. And of course, if you have any questions, concerns, things like that, feel free to send us a message, send us an email, anything like that. We'd be happy to have that conversation with you. But this will definitely be uploaded on the channel. At the time of this recording, it is June 10th. So again, this Friday. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll drop tomorrow. If you're watching this live, it'll drop Friday. And of course, the full album June 21st. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled, man. Keep your fucking eyes peeled, all right? Yeah, damn it. But yeah, this will be uploaded on the channel. So make sure you like the video, subscribe, stay tuned for the album, and all that good jazz. Of course, huge shout out to everybody that already is subscribed. We do upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there. So make sure you go show the channel, these artists in these videos some love. Carrying Case of the Mondays Collection 2, June 21st. Let's get it. June 21st, my friends. All right. Let's get into it. You guys know the drill. Let's talk. I'm down for the cause. So, let's get into it. You guys know the drill. Time for some reactions and reviews. So, tweets are in the same format every single week. They'll always read artists and creatives. Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on June 10th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is here and now. The only thing that changes on these tweets is the date. So make sure you double check the date, drop your tracks with everybody else's tracks or links, and you'll be good to go. Per usual. Twitch.tv/soundplace, which is here. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So, per usual, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show, from obviously vocals to instrumentals to music videos to snippets to merch designs to photography to videography. You name it, we have reacted to it here on the show. So feel free to submit anything you'd like, because most underground creatives are multi-talented. People who make beats also do vocals. People who do vocals also design. Designers also do some engineering. You know what I mean? So we wanted to make sure that we covered all bases, just because most underground creatives are multi-talented. That's the reason for that. So feel free to submit whatever you'd like. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if it's macaroni paintings. It could be anything, man. If you feel like you deserve some spotlight on Music Mondays, feel free to drop your links, man. For sure. And of course, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible, to not only help spread our message and grow our platform, but just to pay respect to everybody else that does wait for their submissions to be reacted to every week. And of course, you gain access to a wonderful network of creatives and a very honest community. So it's kind of a win-win. But like I said, submissions are always free. That's the only thing that we do ask, is that you're following on Twitter to be eligible. And of course, 4-hour show limits, just to make sure that the show doesn't go on a little bit too long to watch back. And I mean, again, like I always say, one could argue that a 4-hour show is still a little bit long to watch back, but a lot better than some of our older shows, right? I think anything under 3 hours is kind of weak for what we do here on the show. So I don't really like to go below 3 hours. But if we do anything over four, it tends to be like a little bit too long. You know what I mean? So we did put a 4 hour show limit cap here, just for that reason. And of course, we are a weekly live show here on Twitch, one of the only ones on Twitch. So it just relieves a bit of the pressure from the staff and things like that. So 4 hour show limit, keep that in mind. So one last thing is Patreon subscribers submissions get played first every single week. So per usual, if you are a Music Mondays Patreon subscribed at any tier, you will have access to the Music Mondays Fast Pass along with a bunch of other goodies over there on the Patreon. But the Fast Pass grants you the ability for the duration that you're subscribed to the Patreon to have your tracks played first every single week here on the show. So again, if you subscribe today, you'd have the next 4 weeks to get your tracks played first here on the show, which of course is that, when most people kind of watch the show back, right, or if you're catching it live, um, being played first is really, such an advantage. Not only to have your tracks like guaranteed to be played, but when we do put the VODs up on YouTube and they do go on audio platforms, you're able to be the first face that everybody sees. So that's kind of one of the really cool ways that we wanted to show some love and show some extra love, right? Because submissions are always free. But with the 4 hour show limit in place, sometimes we won't get it to everybody's submissions, right? Sometimes we might miss a few. So if you're one of those people that's like, fuck, like I really want my submission to be played, we wanted to have that option for you guys to guarantee that. But also, again, submissions are always free. So that's that on that. And of course, the Music Mondays Patreon is stacked with a bunch of really cool stuff over there. And we've come up with a lot of really great ideas for the Patreon that I have to work out and launch, but we plan on adding a whole lot of other benefits to each tier. So maybe like one or two more things for each tier. I've had a few ideas that I've spoken with some other creators about. So expect some updates to that for sure. But yeah, that's that on the Patreon. And of course, the very, very, very one last thing is, of course, submissions close about an hour, 2 hours before the show starts. Just get a quick head count, and we are a live show, so that way nobody kind of submits late and kind of messes up the order, because we usually just go down the list regularly. So again, just keep that in mind. You have about 6 or 7 days to get your tracks in, which is obviously plenty of time. But once you see the show live, submissions are closed, so that's just a good rule of thumb. So that way the order kind of stays the same. Nobody kind of cuts the line or anything like that. So that's about it, my friends. If you have any other questions on the Music Mondays podcast, why we do things, how we do things, I actually have a wonderful guide up on the channel that we did this year, kind of breaking down the Music Mondays podcast lore, how we started, why we take submissions on Twitter, and any other questions you may have. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love, because that's a really cool guide for sure. I believe it's linked on the website as well, so you can check out allmusicmondays.com for some more information on that. Definitely. But outside of that, my friends, we are good to go. So let's check out some submissions tonight. Let's see how many Patrons we have. Let's see what everybody's on, man. So, I believe we have like 2 or 3. So Dry My Eyes will be up first. We got Jordan. That's 2 Patrons. And yeah, so we have 2. All right, so we'll do our patrons of the night tonight, and then we'll hop into the rest of the community submission for sure. So, right, let's get into it. First up, Dry My Eyes, a wonderfully, wonderfully talented vocalist, who's just had a really stellar year. Like, there's so many artists here in the community that I can't speak highly enough of, and Dry My Eyes is definitely one of them. But they submitted a track titled Kimbop. Let's see what we got here. Prod Wanderlust Beats. This is a producer that we've seen them collaborate with multiple times. So this should be good. Be very, very good. All right. So we got some fine lyrics in the description. I'm down. Let's get into it. Dry My Eyes Kimbop. Let's go. Haven't got the mix right, but life goes on. Let him know. Life goes on.
Chicken kimbap by the angel. Record and drum by the pressure. I see more pawns than a chessboard. I will will live on to my next one. Exhaust the visionary, head on like an obelisk, apocalyptic sedentary. In that cemetery, that was just for momentary. Every day I'm home alone, you know I did what's necessary. Give your ass a kiss and bury.
Oh,
Spit that
shit.
dysentery, keeping with sharp on me. Shit that's secondary. There's no misandary. I exert a piston, verbal piston, twist of panties. Ain't no one like this apparently. Feel from distant clearing, I would get the hits apparent. Mysticless consistently, but listen, now see this apparent. When I'm miscarrying, what's the use comparing? I just know the truth is what you risk and what you lose and carry. It's abuse and parry. It ain't very hard to stare right in your hairy arm. Say it's just your stupid Harry. With the woofer blaring, with the loop and everything you ever fucking counted on like numerary.
Wow. Holy shit.
Okay. Luminary, lights on, lights out. I don't got a lot, but it's nice out. Want some type out, something like a brutalist, and you were less than dualist. Boom, shipping dualistic. Tripping lucidistic, taking deuce if you assist and make some room for new linguistics. All we do is do simplistic, too against it. Do we've always coexisted? You are not a one or a O, you are not statistic. I audition, I don't run, moving distant. I do what we'll do, we will die, this ain't nothing new. Your day is coming soon. What's your wave plumbing, bend on it, we will still stand like the 300 bleed on it. You will end up even spent alone, and the spec will know. The presence in the air will know. When you lay alone, find me where your head will grow. I'll just shape a shit without a care and make this way you flow. Red sob, chicken kimbap,
Wow.
eggs out, breath getting drawn by the pressure. I see more pawns than a chessboard. I will live on to my next one. Exhaust the visionary, head on like obelisk, apocalyptic sedentary. In that cemetery, that was just for momentary. Every day I'm home alone, you know I did what's necessary. Even in my death won't vary. Even this one wearing plentiful, excessive sharing. After all the compliments, and I do it later, make your shell a rudimentary. You respected those who work and everyone who still reject me. I'm just doing pressing, overall it's too depressing. Always much too far inside my head, defying your expecting. Expectation leaves a dead beside your reservation. As you meet the city, put some worth upon your preservation. So it was too late, miscalculation. The writings on the wall, the hall was always vacant. I just want us all to take it. I just want us all to go up all the line of pockets, tell them how she made it. I tell of course that I've worked and I've lived with no remorse. And even though I'm wrong, I still always do my chores though. Driving spin a whip on the short road. Drive my eyes slow down.
Drive has been a whip, not a shore road. What the fuck? There was some really creative writing in here. Like, really creative. Yeah, see, I like the outro a lot too. The thing is with lyrics and description, man, like sometimes, like certain songs just benefit so much from it. And this was one of them. This was definitely one of them to me that I felt like even if you had like a lyric video or just lyrics and description, I feel like it makes the song, like obviously easier to like digest and like understand, right? But outside of that, I just think it makes it more intimate and more like personal. Like as you're like figuring out these bars, you're like hearing the next one. I don't know. Something I like personally, but yeah, wow, that was crazy. So let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it because there is quite the amount of things to talk about here. I love the kimbap tag too, like chicken kimbap, like spared no expense with the tags at all. I love it. I love it. But we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of kimbap. Kind of an interesting theme here, just because it's we'll dive into it. Let's talk instrumental. Wonderlust. This is a prod that we've seen Dry My Eyes work with multiple times, right? They have always had a really good chemistry. So, not really a shocker to see them working again. But I do think that they are like a really good duo when it comes to sound, for sure. But let's talk mix. So instrumental mix, really solid, especially for a track that has a few kind of live instrumental tracks, right? Kind of just pushing that live instrument kind of feel with the drums and things like that. So sometimes when it comes to mixing those, it can be like a real big hit or miss. It can give you like a real big problem, or you can kind of get it real easy, and you're just like, oh, that sounds nice. You know, sometimes they just fit snug, and other times the mixes are kind of annoying when it comes to these type of beats. but I think the mix is really solid, to be honest with you, especially with all things considered, right? Nothing clashy to overbearing. Nothing's really kind of like sticking out that's off to me. Nothing that really like throws the ear off, you know? Um, so a solid mix. Not really a shocker, but for those of you that are new here, definitely got to point that out always. Um, so instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Coincidentally enough, I think I am gonna say drums, just because the drums had such an impact on me, and like they're actually stuck in my head now. But I think an underrated side of this instrumental is definitely the structure. I like the way it was structured out. A lot of the drops are good. A lot of the breakdowns are good. Like everything was placed just right. So I feel like you could say structure as well. But for me, definitely the drums. I like the sound selection a lot for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocals. Let's talk vocal mix. Dry My Eyes did say that they kind of struggled with this mix, but I don't think it was as rough as like sometimes your ears can like pretend it is. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you'll be doing a mix for 3-4 hours. You take a break, you go back to it, it's not as good. But then you go show somebody else with like a fresh set of ears. They're like, oh no, yeah, this is solid. You know what I mean? So like comparatively to other tracks, I wouldn't say it's like a massive jump in mix at all. I definitely think it falls right in line with the gritty kind of like raw but like cleaned up kind of sound that Dry My Eyes has. So the vocal mix to me is solid. Obviously everything can be improved, right? But for what this is right now currently, I wouldn't change it. You know what I mean? Unless you really wanted to, of course. But vocal mix definitely solid, just like the instrumental for sure. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Even a lot of the more melodic parts are solid. Um, Nothing that ultimately throws me off, to be honest. Thinking back on it, vocals sit nice, drums cut through nicely. Everything kind of like coexists together on the song. So, yeah, nothing too insane here that really throws me off. So mix is solid, definitely. Vocal shining star. Um, hmm. Mm-mm-mm. I really like the flow and cadence a lot, but the writing was not only very creative but very like precise. It was very specific writing. Like there's a lot of like specific bars in here that I felt like you know like certain people just have such a knack for writing such fun kind of brain racking bars, and Dry My Eyes is definitely one of them that you can kind of like dissect each lyric like one after another. So for me, probably writing, but I do like the flow and cadence a lot. I feel like the flow and cadence definitely added a lot of like the high energy to the song for sure. So for me, flow and cadence absolutely. Or no, writing, but flow and cadence is definitely a close second for sure, a close second. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. So um, aesthetics. Kind of a crazy cover. I love covers like these again. Because I'm a fan of the IRL ones that just kind of have this like not like deep fry look, but it's like heavily edited, right? But we have covers like these where it's almost slightly more simple, but it's very like I've taken a couple pictures like these that come out like this, and they're so sick. Like I don't know, like something about these like random like off guard kind of like insane angle kind of shots. Like this one, like what I assume is like a backpack or like a seatbelt, and this is like obviously like a bunch of necklaces, right? So kind of these like one-off like aesthetic shots are really solid to me. I personally like them a lot, especially with the new Dry My Eyes font in the bottom right. I thought that was a great addition too. Because sometimes people can go overboard and there's text everywhere and things like that. Which I mean, if that's your thing, that's cool. That's fine. I don't think it messes up the cover at all, but I do like the more subtle ones for certain tracks. You know what I mean? Like if the piece calls for it, it calls for it. Um, but I am a fan of the fonts in the bottom right for sure, no doubt. So aesthetics on point, especially for a single. I like this one a lot. Um, so overall theme, it's kind of it's very interesting because for a title such as Kimbap, right? It's like you could go into this thinking that it was purely going to be like a food song, but this is one of those tracks where you take like a simple idea and you double down on it. right? So you come up with a hook, you come up with a melody, you come up with the cadence, and you're like, you know, chicken came about egg drop, like same kind of thing right there, right? Like you're kind of like just thinking of these bars, and you're like, okay. And then you double down on this topic, right? So you're kind of getting more and more descriptive about such a like a simple subject, and I feel like that speaks volumes to people's writing, right? Like for those artists that can write their ass off about something simple as fuck, but fill it up with a bunch of bars and make it their own. I feel like that's such a crazy writing skill to me. Because like you could write about like a specific situation or a scenario much easier than you could something simple, right? Like it's like, oh, like let's write about like cell phones. You know what I mean? And then some writers, right, just come up with these crazy concepts, and it's like, wow, like motherfuckers can write. You know what I mean? So this is falling under that category for me, that it kind of has this like simple start, and then it kind of slowly develops into like such a personal, like day daily occurrence kind of writing. Like I feel like a lot of the second half of the song here, like rinse off and following all this, I feel like this is a very much more like doubling down on like the how I feel in the moment kind of vibe. You know what I mean? So you take a simple subject and then you add in like how you're feeling in the moment and what you're feeling in that day while you're writing. You get something like this that's so like it's so simple but so spread out that like you can't not enjoy it, right? Because it's filled with so much substance, but you wouldn't think so. You know what I mean? Because it's developed off of this like really simple concept. So that's what I really like about this, and it really speaks volumes to people's writing skills that do things like this. I think it's fantastic, and I wouldn't stop doing it. I would write songs about whatever you want realistically, but I think these are good exercises, right? Especially in like the hip hop rap kind of area, even in the alternative area of just kind of like taking a simple topic and just doubling down on it. I think it's great. So well done, really well done. Great way to kick off the show for sure. With that said, huge shout out to Dry My Eyes. Thank you so much for this submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Dry My Eyes on SoundCloud. They are 7 followers away from 90, approaching the 90. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're 8 followers away from 60. Make sure you go show them some love on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. We're approaching 280 sub-roonies. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your submission, my friend. Let's fucking get it. That was a crazy start to the show. Let's fucking go. So, that was a great start. So, our second and last but not least patron of the night, the homie Jordan. Again, another artist that kind of falls under the umbrella of like having a really good 2024. Super consistent, lots of collabs, lots of very interesting ventures, man. Like very, very interesting ventures. So, with that said, Jordan has submitted a track titled Riot, featuring Unruly Prod Jordan. So I'm very excited to see what this is, because I don't think we've heard Jordan with Unruly yet at all. Riot featuring Unruly Prod Jordan, new project Turning Point in July. Cover art is a collab piece from Michael and Jordan, not officially the project art yet. So we got a little bit of a placeholder here. I think this is fucking gas, by the way. I love like the CD concept. Imagine actually putting out a CD like this. This would be a crazy like backing for like the inside of a CD. That'd be hard. That'd be really hard. Okay, let's get into it. Jordan, Riot, Unruly. Go. Let's get it.
Yeah.
That's dope. I like it a lot too.
There's no pile on flesh, there's old malice, nose balance the best. There's no challenge, I challenge the rest. Attack your flesh, been dreaming, pass by, you didn't see me. Tell all my niggas to love, laugh, and live freely. Time speeding, and gun blast is still frequent, pill eating. Broken glass, got my wheels screeching, he'll beat him. I know he will, he's still king. Unruly, my gun shooting forever. Your love proved to be fake, blood draws together. Call out to above, I'm done, use this message. Following these pages, you want me to get to heaven. Take me to the king, I'm the unruly successor. blood rooted my bones. Fuck you and whoever. Still writing raps, I'm still fighting you. Why you still fight for flags, color red, white, and blue? A war torn city, bored dead obstacles. When the warlords give you more, shut the fuck up and sleep. Burn the book so you can't reenact what you read. Exactly the thing they do to keep you trapped in your dreams of weak freedom. We don't need no other act if it's bleeding. Unruly.
Jesus. He fucking ate that. Oh my god. I think this beat's really crazy too. This really takes me back to like oh man, like Castles 2 and like Castles. This is a really great instrumental. Reminds me of like some like early Charlie Shuffler, kind of like very like interesting, such like an alternative flavor. I don't know, it's hitting the sweet spots though, for sure. But that was solid, man. I like this kind of collab here, for Jordan as a producer, right? Because Jordan could have put this on, or Jordan could have easily put a verse on this, right? But this is a kind of Jordan hosted track where Jordan produced the track featuring Unruly. Producer is the main artist, which I think a lot of producers need to be doing a lot more of this. You know, Blank Thought is one that comes to mind that does a really good job with this. You know, because a lot of producers are so worried about placements and things like that. If you just kind of like toss some artists some beats for the free and you're like, yo, let me host one on my page, you can get some really cool shit like this. You know what I mean? So I like this direction as far as like how this was dropped and like how this is formatted. Obviously it'll change, right? Because it'll probably be on the project and things like that. But for what it is right now, I think it's great. Let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. So, let's talk instrumental. Again, this one kind of hit a sweet spot for me. These are the kind of instrumentals that like I end up cooking up somehow. Um, you know, I just love this kind of like alternative style mixed with like this like hip hop element to it. It has a really certain flavor. So I enjoy this one a lot. Instrumental mix though, fantastic. To be honest with you, everything's really tight and really crisp. Um, I wouldn't change anything here, whatsoever. Like the drums are fire, the melody is placed really well, everything cuts through nicely, and then on top of it, the vocals sit nice. Like everything was just super tight about this mix. Um, so super solid. To be honest with you, no gripes. Definitely no gripes whatsoever. Instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Um. Hmm. It's very interesting. Cause like you could go melody, right? But the drums are like bringing this whole new element of grit and like hip hop kind of um sound. So I kind of do want to say drums, but the melody is definitely up there. I also like the structure. I feel like structure's underrated here. Um, hmm. Yeah, probably drums, to be honest with you. I like the drums a lot. I like how they're nice and slow, but they hit real hard. I like the patterns in specifically. I like the sound selection. Yeah, definitely the drums. Drums are rememberable to me here, but the melody is just as memorable. Um, so instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. This is an artist that we haven't heard Jordan work with, and man, do they have this like real nice like a real rap voice and a real rap flow for sure, especially like for that underground kind of style. It feels original, it feels fresh, it feels all of those things, you know what I mean? It's new, so it's nice. But yeah, this is an artist we haven't seen them work with before, but again, Jordan is kind of proving time and time again that they can work with almost any artist, right? They're very versatile when it comes to their production alone, but you could say the same thing about their vocals. um so with that said, this vocal mix from Unruly is fantastic. I They definitely strike me as an artist that has like a really solid natural voice. So unless you're going for like a certain vision, there's not much of a need for like a lot of post processing, right? So you just want to make it super crisp, clean, clear, tight, nice and level. Nothing like clashing to overbearing. Right where it needs to be as far as like these vocals to make an impact. Um Definitely wouldn't change anything here either, for sure. Because it felt like it made an impact. You know what I mean? It felt serious. That's how you know the mix was like right in that sweet spot. Um Vocal shining star. Oh man. Um so flow and cadence is up there, right? But I think writing. I think I really think writing. Just because some of the bars were like again really fun to dissect, but there was a lot of like meaningful bars mixed with like life bars. Like there was a lot of like it almost felt freestyle esque, but not really. It was very much kind of structured, but there was still very much like a real life element to this. Like it felt personal, but there was definitely a lot of like fun punchlines here. So, Low Canes is up there. I won't lie. Uh, I gotta go with writing. I think we're gonna go with writing just because it is the first time we've heard these two work together. So writing was a lot cooler to kind of like really kind of like dive into here for the first time, right? Because it was like almost like a first time submitting artist. You know what I mean? So for me, writing, yeah, definitely. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the uh writing for sure. Flow and Cades is definitely a close second. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. This might be one of my favorite covers from the Make More Creative Junk crew. I'm a huge fan of all their covers, but the fact that this was a collab piece makes this way cooler to me. Like way cooler. And again, it strikes me as like a CD cover. You know what I mean? And not like the cover of the CD, but when you open a CD and inside it has the backing art, right? And the CD like matches the backing art. So when you take the CD out, like it looks like a piece is missing. That's what this strikes me as. So I like the creativity here a lot. And plus, like these collab design pieces are always like super cool to me. So I'm big on this one. I'm big on this one. Like even if it is like only like a temporary kind of cover, I still think it's great. I still think it's great. Um, hmm. So overall theme, I wouldn't say that there's like a super deep, like ultra standout theme here. This is definitely a track you need to dissect the lyrics and bars and just enjoy the writing in general, right? Because this is that real like underground rap kind of vibe. You know what I mean? So like, Unruly really spit for almost 2 minutes straight here. So there was a lot to kind of take in. So this definitely wasn't written with like a super theme in mind. It was more so, um on the like real rap hip hop side. You know what I mean? As to where like it was very much like, enjoy the lyrics for what they are, enjoy the flows, enjoy the cadence, and kind of be like, wow, all right, like I see what we're working with here. Especially for like, I do believe this might be one of the first times that they worked. I could be wrong. This is definitely the first time we've seen them together here on the show. So I feel like a track like this is like easy to make an impact with because there isn't much to like dive into, right? Like you don't need like a whole lot of backstory. It's just like, okay, like this motherfucker can rap, So it definitely struck me as that, but the instrumental and the style of it was very underground and organic and just natural, So that's what I really liked about this a lot. But well done. Well done. I definitely want to see these two collab way more. This is a great duo for sure. Just like Mac. So, with that said, huge shout out to Jordan. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on SoundCloud. They are 3 followers away from 80. And of course, make sure you follow Jordan on Twitter. They're 5 followers away from 440 on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, all that good jazz over there, man. So Show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends, that takes care of all the Patreons for tonight. Huge shout out to everybody on our Patreon crew. Huge shout out to Jordan, Dry My Eyes, and Ryuki, Blank Thought, Kruker, the whole Patreon crew. Even if you're just following, definitely huge shout out to you guys. You're amazing. Thank you. So we're gonna hop right back into the rest of the community submissions. We're just gonna go from top to bottom. We have a decent stack tonight for sure. Lots of returning faces, couple new faces. Let's get into it. All right, so first submission of the night, the homie Sam's Raps. Now they made quite an impact on their first submission. Actually, really fucking crazy. A very talented hip hop vocalist submitted Snail Mode. Me and Sparked affiliate over a sample from Oogie's The Moss and the Sauce. Enjoy. Snail Mode. Say less. Okay, and we got a little collab in here. All right. I am down for the cause. Absolutely. All right. Spark and Sam's. So this is like a full collab profile here. That's really crazy. That's really crazy. Okay, I'm down. Let's get into it. Sam's Raps. Snail Mode. Let's go.
He grew up as a little shit spark from the old shit flint, and then he turned into a shit bonfire, and then driven by the winds of his monumental ignorance, he turned into a raging shit fire.
Yeah, this sample is definitely crazy.
I'm so 305. I'm from a place where we don't thrive. It's a blessing just to be alive. Every day I'll be on my grind. I gotta get to them dollar signs. I ain't nothing like them other guys. I keep my head on a swivel. Can't trust nobody. Everybody's out to get you. Not even your loved ones. They be the first ones that's with you. That's why my heart colder than a blizzard. I got my soul on ice. I'm so cold, man. I could be inside of your Sprite. It's not a joke, man. I put this shit on my life. If I get crossed one more time, I'ma get in the fight. I'm so MIA. I keep a blunt in the ashtray. Keep a pint in the glove box. It still get money, fuck the cops. I keep my eyes on the fucking ops. I watch them, they won't get a drop. They count me. That's the location where they found me. I ain't playing, I need my paper now, G. I'm the big homie. You rappers hate me because I make you look big phony. Hit the plug for 6 OZs. I need my work ASAP. No fur though. I prefer blunts to joints because they burn slow.
Okay.
I was unemployed, now I'm killing shit. All the pay did was make me more militant. You can't break me down, it's okay. I know you gon' underrate me now. You can hate me now, but when I make it out, I don't wanna hear whine. You ain't getting out of time. I'ma grind till I can't grind no more. Shine till I can't shine no more. We not the same kind no more. My mind leveled up, I see my future self. And nothing stopping me except the hand of death.
Goddamn, Phil.
Goddamn, Phil.
You're gonna make me do it to him, aren't
Dope.
you?
I agree.
Alright, fuck it, I'm going in.
This is gonna be nuts.
He's 305, I'm 401. We linking up, then you better run. Fill another blunt with the purple stuff, then spark it up till the casket comes. You ain't got the funds, you can't fuck with us. We brash as fuck when the stash is done. Harass the plug if attack is crumbs. You know the gas have a static stuff. Yeah. I approach the mic with the glee of a child. You think that's why you'll never smile. Been here for a while, just found my style. And it's getting stronger every day. Leveled up in a major way. You see stairs, I escalate. Yeah. Your forever home is a stepping stone. Not a sweet life is the one I know. Spend my days when ocean flows. Yeah. Of all the scenes, this is one I know. Let me paint it for you nice and slow. We on the beach and there's a little breeze. You look at me over your daiquiri. You say life is sweet cause you're a peach. You say
I'm the best cause I had to
you
be.
never told me I could be average. Take a day off and be proud of me. I go back to my roots like a radish. You think we established that I'm a savage. I was sad as shit but now I'm back a bit. The meds are helping and I'm glad for it. If you lacking tips, I got the script right to a day and practice it. Take the cap of the pen and dab it with ink. Scribble shit out whatever you think. After tapping the tip to the top of the tongue, the words might finally leave the brain. Don't care where you from if you similar sauce. Y'all worry about all the Lincoln Bill talk.
We treat the bills like Lincoln logs.
Damn.
Stack them up to the ceiling falls. Fill calls so I won't fail. They lost the thread of my coattails. Hanging on my line like a toenail. I'm Sam's Club, got a bars on wholesale. Yeah.
I'm Sam's Club, got the bars on wholesale. What the fuck?
Dishwasher.
Nah, that was heat. That was heat. That was good. That was damn. All right. What? It's like a very interesting duo, but it works. You know what I mean? It really works. That was cool, man. That was cool. I enjoyed that. It gave a very like Cypher-esque kind of vibe, right? Especially like no hook, just like banger verse, and then like pass it off to Sam's. Like that was solid. Very, very solid. Appreciate you, man. Let's fucking get it, Sam's. We got Sam's in the chat right now. Much love, homie. Let's get it. But yeah, lots to dissect here. So let's get into it. Me and Sparky got a little 5-song EP dropping later this year. Okay, yeah, see, we need to get some of that on the show. I am down. Okay, so you guys know the drill. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Snail Mode. So let's go instrumental. Referring back to the caption, over a sample from Oogie's The Moss and the Sauce. So this is really cool because the sample plays such a big part here. But before we get into that, let's talk mix. Fantastic, to be honest with you. Nice and loud, crisp, clear. Nothing from any angle, thinking back on it, that I would change, especially on the instrumental. Like the sample is almost like a third person on the track, you know, but it's not like overdoing it. I like a lot of tracks personally that, you know, the sample isn't like overdone, right? And I feel like this one is like right where it needs to be. So I'm big on the sample for sure. But as far as the mix itself, fantastic. Especially when you think about the sample, right? The drums, you're like, okay, everything's kind of flowing nicely here. So nothing I would ultimately change about the instrumental mix at all. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Drums are solid. Vocals sit nice. Yeah, nothing too crazy. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. I mean, I like the obvious answer is the sample, right? But I do think drums are a good contender here, but I think it's got to be the sample. The sample is so like memorable and catchy that you're just definitely gonna have that in your head off rip for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix for both of them are fantastic actually. Everything again super loud but not too loud, crisp, clear, clean. Nothing that, you know, thinking back on it again that I would change here either. Drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nice. Nothing ultimately that I think is like like too much at all. Nothing's really like doing too much whatsoever. And they both have like really solid natural voices, so not much post processing was needed. Everything's cleaned up nicely. Everything's nice and level. So nothing that really like, nothing that really sticks out as off. You know what I mean? So definitely a really solid vocal mix here. Vocal shining star. I mean, you know, Flow and Cates is up there, right? But for me, it's got to be writing. I feel like these bars and the lyrics were just really fun to listen to and like dissect, right? Especially as like a hip hop listener, right? Or anybody who's even like remotely a fan of hip hop, like dissecting and listening to the next bar is like something that's like some of the best parts about certain songs, right? And this gave me that kind of feeling of like, okay, like I just can't wait for, you know, these bars to keep coming in. You know, a lot of the stuff on first listens that you pick out is just like a one-time feeling. You know what I mean? You're like, ah, like the Sam's Club bar is great at the end. You know what I mean? Like shit like that is just crazy the first time you hear it. Um, but yeah, writing. It's got to be writing for sure. Um, Flow and Canes and Delivery is a close second, but it's got to be writing for me, 100%. Um, hmm. So instrumental solid, definitely the sample. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Snail mode. This is a crazy fucking cover, bro. That is the most insane snail I have ever seen. This guy is jacked. This guy is fucking jacked. That is like snail Superman, bro. I mean, for 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 uh for a song called Snail Mode, um absolutely fits. Absolutely fits. I mean, especially for like a first track, like as a duo, um, I don't think you could ask for more. To be honest with you, I think this one is fantastic. Um, but that is definitely an insane cover for sure. Like the eyes are crazy as hell, but I like it a lot. It fits. It fits, and that's what matters. Um, Overall theme, I wouldn't say that there's like a super like jump out in your face kind of theme. Like, oh yeah, that's what this song is about. This one is definitely again a track where you got to appreciate the writing, appreciate the lyrics, because it's kind of somewhat in like a cipher s kind of style. Skip the hook and just really pay attention to the bars and really pay attention to the clever shit. Because there's a lot of it in here. So this is definitely one that you need to appreciate for the writing itself, especially as a rap or hip hop fan for sure. So, with that said, huge shout out to Sam. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Spark and Sam's in their new Spotify account. Go show it some love. And of course, make sure you follow Sam on Twitter. They are 10 followers away from 830. Make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz is up there. So make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's fucking get it. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Let's fucking get it, Sams. Thank you so much for your submission. Let's fucking go. Keep killing it, my friend. Let's fucking get it. So, excellent, 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 excellent. Up next is Marco Pernice, but we actually reacted to Welcome to the Show last week on episode 176. So if you'd like to see us react to this, make sure you go check out episode 176 and make sure you go show Marco some love. And of course, Marco, feel free to resubmit this week with a track that we have not reacted to, and I will be happy to break that down for you, my friend. Let's fucking get it. So, following Marco, we have Offspring Mysterious. Now, Offspring had quite the crazy couple weeks of submissions, right? Between their poetry and a whole lot of like really crazy stuff. In a good way, of course. That was just like really impressive. Like really, really impressive. But this week, I believe we have more art from Offspring Mysterious. So I'm down. Page 2, dunking from the free throw line. All right, so let's bob open page 2 of the art museum. We're heading back to the museum. I'm down. I'm down. All right, so it should be page 2. Let's see. Aha, page 2. All right. Let's see here. Dunking from the free throw line. Right, that's what it's called? Okay, yeah. Creating an Offspring. Let's see here. Let's take a dive. These are actually really well done for like having um so much substance. Did we miss it? No way, we missed it, right? Or is it just huh? Dunking from the free throw. Oh wait, so it's just like all of this? Unless I'm faded. or it could be on page 1, like more more toward the bottom. Let's check. Let's check page 3 here. Okay, yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah, it's got to be page 2 because they did say page 2. Scroll back up. All right, back to page 2. Wait, which one is it? Hmm. It's this one, right? Yeah, yeah, it's got to be this one. Hold on. Let's look for that one. Oh, okay, okay. No, wait. Okay, I got it. 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 We're faded. We're faded. I thought it was called dunking from the free. Okay, okay. No, no, we're good. All right. Air spring. Let's get into it. Let's just take one more detailed look at this. Actually, now I'm very very curious now. See, this has this like optical illusion kind of look. Yeah, I definitely have some thoughts about this for sure. All right, hold on. Let's read the caption and then let's give some thoughts. All right, air spring. I go hard to the motherfucking paint. I know one thing. When you see me coming down to the paint, two things are happening. Either you're getting bodied or I'm jumping over you. For your own safety, I'll go about my business and move out of my way. Who knows? I might spare you with some ankle breakers or a no-look dive for a bucket. You'll think I play point guard, but my position is a shooting guard. Now, don't get me wrong. I love passing the ball around, calling plays, being a floor general. Sometimes I just want to score buckets, drop 60 bombs on people's head tops. Maybe I should try for the NBA. That's if they accept demigods in their league. So for those of you that don't know, Offspring, Mysterious, and the Walking Onslaught's universe is something that they've created and really centered around their music, right? And of course, not just their music, their designs, their edits, their uploads, a whole lot of really good stuff. So, as far as this one goes, let's take a deeper look at this. So again, this has this like optical illusion kind of feel to it, which I think does this a lot of justice, like a real lot of justice. Like sometimes with certain designs, they can like appear simple, right? But they have this kind of like this like feel to them that like the more you look at them, the more you see. And this is one of those, right? Because it looks like the OG image is obviously of a basketball court, right? But it's so deep fried that you can make that out, but you follow in more details after that. So you're like, holy shit, you know what I mean? So this is what I like about a lot of these pieces is I feel like a lot of them kind of like have this like crazy optical illusion esque kind of feel to them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, um, I'm big on this one. I'm big on this one a lot. I think the color palette is really solid too, but I think the shining star has got to be the illusion aspect of it. It's got to be. You know what I mean? Like it's really like pushing that like the more you look at it, the more you see kind of vibe. So it's really going up there for that for sure. But this was well done. I love how all these have like individual backstories and really like well written lore for a lot of these designs, right? Like even giving background on certain designs is just fucking insane. You know what I mean? It's such a good thing for designers to do. And I think Offspring does really well with it. So I'd definitely like to continue diving into these because these are really well done, for sure. So with that said, make sure you go check out Offspring's Art Museum, and of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. They are approaching 890 followers, man. They're about 9 away. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive jazz, and a whole lot of good stuff over there. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's fucking go. We love that. So, that was a fantastic submission. Offspring always brings like the extra interesting vibes. You know what I mean? Like just throw some like different content in there, man. It's always super cool to me. Always super cool to me. But alrighty, my friends. Let's continue on. Up next we have the homie Survival in Negativity, aka Sin. A very talented hip hop artist. Again has had a really solid 2024. We've gone through some of their older libraries, some of their newer libraries, some of their collabs, a lot of really great stuff from Sin. But they submitted Rally for Reality, Soda Fountain music video. Rally for Reality, Sin and True Thoughts, Soda Fountain. A solo track by True Thoughts from our second compilation, The Vault Mixtape Part 2, where True comically explores his unhealthy relationship with soft drinks. We love that. I'm down. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. All right. Pause. Go full quality. Go full screen. All right, let's get it. Rally for Reality, Soda Fountain music video. Let's go. It's gonna be solid.
I really did not want to like cherry coke as much as the worst thing that ever happened was sparkling water. There's something really good about it.
Pepsi got cancer in it.
Pepsi got cancer in it.
When I was younger, I would drink soda. No one was telling me that water was better for my health till I was older. Cold red Mountain Dews in stock, so I would cop a 2 liter for $1. Always deals on my block, so I cop a few more for later. A big versus some now later. Yeah, I regret it later. You hate it, don't you be shaming me. Closest thing
I love this visual already, bro.
Raspberry brisk iced tea. I had to chill on
Yes.
The doctor told me I had pre-diabetes and I had to take it easy. For me, that wasn't easy. You see, it was too easy for me to run across the street and buy a 2 liter or 3. Cause you imagine seeing chunky little me just as happy as me trying to run across the street. Don't have to tell you that my friends were being mean cause I'm wheezing when I breathe, so they always try to tease. I was 13, so by 23 my kidneys had some problems, so I had to switch to green tea. Drinking water by the gallon, I had to stop drinking the soda. Now I take it by the 20 ounces and use water fountains and V8 splashes. Not
Yeah.
the normal V8s, nah, that joint is nasty. Every now and then I get a cherry Pepsi, but don't tell nobody, I ain't supposed to have it. They be getting mad, I be getting sad, then they give me a soda, then I'm
Damn. So again, a really simple concept turned into like something super like fun and like enjoyable. Wow. So I'm big on this one, man. I'm big on this one just because the like retro feel of it, but a lot of the like soda mentions, right, of like cherry coke and raspberry brisk, like those are some fucking good bevs right there, bro. But as the song mentions, right, I mean, as long as you're balancing out with water and trying to take care of yourself, right, I think it's okay, right? Like obviously you don't want to be drinking fucking soda 24/7, but you know, you just got to make sure you take care of yourself and you don't really like go overboard with it. But I think this is a great concept to like if you love something so much that you like you just got to create about it sometimes. And like a lot of these classic like shots throughout this visual are fucking great. So, let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the official music video for Soda Fountain. Because wow. All right, so let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix, fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Nothing that really like ultimately stuck out to me that was like super off at all. That's kind of the norm for Rally and Survival. I really think that they usually have like a really tight, well-rounded mix. Not really a shocker, like I said, but something you always got to point out. And again, vocals sit nice. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing that I can look back on and think like, oh, that was a bit off. No. Instrumental mix fantastic for sure. Even down to the melody. Instrumental Shining Star, speaking of the melody, might just be the melody. Because it has this dreamlike, classic-esque kind of flavor to it that I think like a lot of these like throwback soda commercials kind of vibe with. You know what I mean? It really felt like a fucking soda tribute, bro. like it really did. And that like put a smile on my face, man, because sometimes you can use music for like more serious shit, and if you're just so passionate about something, you can write about that too. You know what I mean? Like you can easily write about that too. And I think that's what was done here. I think they did a really good job kind of like doubling down on something simple. But for the passion of it though, you know what I mean? Like it's not like, you know, fated to write a song about something you love, no matter what it is or how small or how big, you know. So the melody, definitely the melody, just because it brings that classic vibe for me, classic dreamlike-esque vibe, you know. Brisk is so gas, by the way. So yeah, melody, absolutely. Vocals. Vocal mix, fantastic. Both of these artists have like such a really solid natural voice that you wouldn't really want to like get into too much post processing unless like the song actually called for it or it's, just a part of your vision. But considering these are two like very underground hip hop artists, when it comes down to the vocal mix, you kind of tend to keep it like somewhat clean, crisp, clear, loud. Nothing's really doing too much. Vocals sit nice, drums cut through nicely. Definitely nothing that like strikes me as like super off in this at all. Much like the instrumental, you know what I mean? But again, that's not really a shocker. But something you always want to mention for anybody that's new here. Definitely a very consistent vocal and instrumental mix for sure. Okay. So, vocal shining star. Flow and cadence was up there. But I mean, realistically, the writing about Soda in general is just so fun to me. And there was a lot of like cool, like regular bars in here that like almost everybody could understand, but it's in this like really interesting cadence. So for me, it's writing all day for sure. I do think the flow and cadence and the delivery is really solid, but I think the writing is really up there. Definitely writing, definitely. Okay. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk about the official music video. So this is great because it's mixed in with a lot of like IRL footage, but it also has a lot of like classic throwback, super old ad like fucking videos. Like a lot of these are so old from like the 70s, the 80s, probably pushing the 90s too, right? But I'm such a big nostalgia. I'm just a sucker for nostalgia, bro. Super sucker for sure, especially like that early 2K, late 90s shit. And this is really giving those vibes, especially for like okay, like we're gonna write a song about soda, right? All right, simple enough. But how do we like further that? This is probably one of the best ways to do it. I think the video game one that they did, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was very similar to this, as to where like the visual really does so well, and it just adds so much substance to the track. So for me, the visual shining star is the mix of classic clips and real clips. You know what I mean? But it's also like such a on point visual that this is a gem. You know what I mean? This is a gem. Like someone's gonna find this in 10 years and be like, holy shit. Like discovering this just like browsing YouTube would be insane. It would be absolutely insane. So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to Sin and Rally for Reality. Make sure you go sub to their channel. They're 10 subs away from 20, so go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you follow Sin on Twitter. They are 1 follower away from 380, so go show them some love over there on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. And of course, huge shout out to everybody that already has subscribed to the Music Mondays channel. You're amazing. Thank you. So, we left off with the homie Sin. Up next is the homie Braden. Again, a very, very talented vocalist, has had a really solid 2024. Like, they've been dropping super consistently collabs, doing stuff with Music Mondays. Like, they've been really on 2024's ass, and it's really cool to see. A lot of the Music Mondays community has just been killing it this year, man. Like, really, really been killing it. So, Braden submitted Crash Out, which is like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Second single is out, boys. Album in June. Oh shit. Second single is out. Alright. Let's pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Braden Crash Out. I am down. Let's get into it. Braden, Aviards, Crash Out. Let's go. So OG tag right there.
Take a little trip. I don't know what these motherfuckers be talking about, but damn some bullshit. Swear to God. Bitch. I went MIA to take a little trip. You been falling off, you sinking like a ship. So Milwaukee in this cup, take a sip. Talking shit, bitch, I'll punch you and I'll let you in your lip. Follow me, I'll walk around with a
Okay. Oh shit.
My brother told me if you trapping, you gon' need a scat. But I pop out in that court and I'm not looking back. I got some shit you can't afford to put that in my pack. I've been MIA for months, bitches still want me back. I've been the best since the time, ain't no debating that. Like how you fucking with a tree, your bitch look like a hag. I stepping around and proud of you could say I'm in my bag.
Okay. All right, so that had that real good like OG trap kind of style, but it was very modern, right? Like it doesn't sound like 2010s or anything like that. It has this like real good modern flavor to it. Almost kind of pushing like the plug area too, but the mix of a couple sounds for sure. But let's get into it, man. That was great. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of Crash Out. Kind of a simple theme, but definitely one that we're gonna dive into here for sure. All right, let's talk about the instrumental. Instrumental mix. Great, to be honest with you. Braided and Crew always have a really solid mix, no matter what kind of instrumentals they're using. So this one's all the same. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing that really like sticks out to me as like super off on this mix. Everything's nice and muddy, but not too muddy. Brings that like OG trap flavor again, but with like a more modern twist, you know. So definitely big on the mix for sure. Definitely like right where it needs to be. Wouldn't change a thing. Instrumental Shining Star. Hmm. You know, I like the melody a lot, right? But I feel like the drums just were so nostalgic yet like very modern, right? And they had enough grit, they had enough mud, but they weren't like doing too much either. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm definitely big on the drums. I'm definitely big on the drums, but the melody's a close second. Melody's definitely very like memorable, but the drums for me are like really hitting, definitely hitting for sure. Um, so instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Both of their mixes are actually really fantastic. Especially for this kind of style, right? But Braden specifically has always had like a very wide variety when it comes to the genres that they always create. You know what I mean? They have such a deep bag of tricks, if you will. So when it comes to the mix, one thing that I've noticed, no matter what genre or style they do, their mix is always really fucking solid. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Nothing that really like sticks out to me that's like super off. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals are nice and clear and loud, but not too loud. Um, Thinking back on it, yeah, nothing that really like threw me off for this one either, to be honest. But again, not really a shocker. But for those of you that new here, you always want to point that out, right? Very important. Um, hmm. Vocal Shining Star. I mean, I like the writing here, but I feel like the flow and cadence was something that forced you to listen to the writing, right? Like the flow and cadence was so good and catchy that like no matter what the writing was, it forced you to listen to it. You know what I mean? Like it really forced you to listen to it. So it was one of those things as to where like the flow and cadence and delivery really like um cushioned the writing, if you will, and gave it more like oomph, right? Gave it more flavor. So flow, cadence, and delivery for me, definitely, definitely. So, instrumental solid. Um, definitely the drums. Vocal solid. Flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. I love photos like this, right? Especially like these like off guard kind of like OG, like, you know, they're either like screenshots from a movie or it's like from your camera roll or even like from a video, right? Like when you're like screenshotting photos or like taking photos from a video, these are kind of the ones that you get. And I always am like a super, super fan of these. And Braden's kind of been leaning on this like blue aesthetic, and I think that's really solid. Braden used to have a crazy kind of aesthetic too with a lot of their earlier work, right? They used to do a ton of different stuff when it comes to um a lot of their like older covers, right? Like they have a lot of these like hand drawn ones, and then they have a lot of these like older artwork pieces, and now they're kind of leaning on this like blue aesthetic, which I think is super fucking like solid, really really solid to just keep switching it up. Um, so for me, fantastic, especially for a single, definitely. Um, overall theme, it's definitely more of like a hype track, right? It's definitely more of like a get money, get up, go to the gym, get motivated, something you turn on, you know, first thing in the day, and you just get hyped off this for sure. Like this is one of those songs you game to, you throw on your hype playlist for sure. Um, so again, this is one of those where you kind of dissect the lyrics for really what it is, right? And really start being like, okay, like appreciating like the writing aspect of it and the mix of flows and the mix of genres, right? Like the mix of like hip hop and trap and rap, and like there's a lot here to dissect as far as um the overall meaning, right? But I would just appreciate it for the writing and the lyricism that it brings for sure. This is one of those tracks that shows like Braden's versatility. You know what I mean? So I definitely think this is a great one for the library. Definitely. So with that said, huge shout out to Braden. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Braden on Twitter. They are 10 followers. Oh wait, from 70. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every segment, every episode, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel, man. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some motherfucking love. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, baby. Let's go. So, let's see here, chat. We're about halfway through the show. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we're gonna dive right back into the rest of our community submissions. So make sure you get up, go get a drink, go walk the dog, go take a shower. No, definitely don't go take a shower. But you know, go for a little smoke break, all that good jazz. But like I said, and when we return, we're gonna dive right back into community submissions. So don't go anywhere. Thank you for tuning in to Music Mondays, baby. Let's fucking go. I would never shower. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays podcast, episode 177. I'm your host, Zom Slays. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, just crazy right now. I'm setting up a whole new music setup. Yeah, now we definitely need pics for when you're done. Definitely need pictures. I'm excited for you. That's awesome. New setup, new life, new grind. Okay. So, continuing on, my friends. We left off with the homie Brayden. Up next is the homie on Wuka. Another super talented hip hop vocalist has been submitting some of the craziest lyric videos we have ever seen here on the show, bar none. 100%. And I believe they sent in another one, which is actually really crazy. They submitted the Hyper Speed lyric video. Let's go. The first lyric video and one of the first tracks Insomniac and I did, Hyperspeed. This was inspired by funk, get up, and dance type of songs with a trippy cosmic flavor type of vibe. Say less. Well described as well. It's a great description. All right, let's go 720. Full volume. Full screen. Let's do this. Hyperspeed, Insomniuka. Let's go.
You know the same is pretty hyper beat. It seems that we're cruising at hyper speed. Cosmic Karate, how I slice the beat. You're hardly the hard thing out than a light in me. Toxic bodies are liquid, about to ride from these. EC liquid, but at hyper speed. You know the same is pretty hyper beat. It seems that we're cruising at hyper speed. Hyper speed, how I like to be. Hyper's a zooted guy ranting about his life when we trying to party, not hear about how your wife might leave. Look at that softly real. Well, we trying to vibe this heat. Beat running harder than a Goliath. Hyper speed. Insomniac something like a baller, all of night in the heat. Pontiac and Billy Graham posted up and they like it, just like a meme. Palm a stack, I wanna fill a hand with roasted nuts as she on a fly in the seat. Scope my stats like a rap almanac as I snap the sinker. Ride with me, strolling intergalactic, blowing ectoplasmic, sick as we reach higher speeds. Don't worry, we bang, but we arrive in peace. Just hurry so you can maintain this hyper speed. You know this thing is pretty hyper beat. It seems that we're cruising at hyper speed. Cosmic Karate, how I slice the beat. You're hardly the hard thing, not than a lot in me. Strolling intergalactic, blowing ectoplasmic, sick as we reach higher speeds. Don't worry, we bang, but we arrive in peace. Just hurry so you can maintain this hyper speed. Yeah, I straight all the snake snipe the beat. Crumb all the break, lay smite when I ignite the heat. Luca pollute the track like Dr. Blight, my teeth. Including facts, I'm flipping some insightful feats. Grooming a flash, I'm dipping, doing frightful leaps. Abusing those cats when it comes to rivalries. All of my rivals weak, how can you rival me? Jerry bust when I bust, straight in the dynasty. Moving fast, we going up. We strolling up like we just hiked the peak. Grooving with lots of players raised on P-Funk to bump. So tonight we free. I want a mutant slash witch chick, so smooth and slick with it. To fly with me. Zoom fast and we switch it to hyper speed. You wouldn't last, you couldn't get this hyper speed. You know this thing is pretty hyper beat. It seems that we're cruising at hyper speed. Cosmic Karate, how I slice the beat. You're hardly the hard thing out than a light in me. Toxic bodies are liquid, about to ride from these. EC liquid, but at hyper speed. You know this thing is pretty hyper beat. It seems that we're cruising at hyper speed.
Okay. The hook is insane too. Wow. Okay. All right. Another fantastic lyric video for the collection. Wow. Okay. So let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We are gonna talk about vocals, and we are gonna talk about the lyric video. Because wow. So, let's dive in. Instrumental. One of the first Insomni Wuka tracks, I believe that's what on Wuka said. The first lyric video and one of the first tracks. So yeah, very early on in their duo-ship, if you will, for sure. Instrumental is very interesting. It definitely does have that like dance funk-esque kind of vapor kind of vibe too, you know. So, but it works. It works definitely. Mix is solid though. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Nothing that really struck out to me as off-putting. Definitely not, to be honest with you. I wouldn't say anything really threw me off, to be honest with you. I mean, at this point, right? Like we've reacted to enough of Onwuka as to where we can pretty much expect like a solid mix, unless it's like some real early like year one, first started making music kind of thing, right? So not really a shocker there, but something I always want to point out for anybody that's new for sure. Um, so yeah, no gripes with the instrumental mix, nothing clashing too overbearing. Definitely right where it needs to be as far as the instrumental itself goes. Um, hmm. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, the drums are definitely up there. They keep up this like real hype kind of vibe, but I kind of want to say melody. Like the melodies here are very memorable and very like spacey, kind of like, especially like with it being like hyper astronomy like, I'm definitely gonna say the melodies for sure. Definitely. Drums are a close second though. So instrumental solid. Definitely the melodies. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, fantastic. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Nothing that really like throws anything off. Nothing that like ultimately jumped out at me, especially for Onwuka. They have like a really solid natural voice. So a lot of their tracks that we've listened to haven't had a lot of like post processing. Been very like cleaned up, natural, and very crisp and tight. So it's one of those types of vocals that don't need a lot of like super processing, right? But much like the instrumental, not really a shocker, but something you always want to point out for anybody new as well. So vocal mix, very solid, very very solid. Hmm. Vocal shining star. You know, I kind of want to say writing, but if I'm being honest, I feel like I feel like the hook is like the most memorable and the most like it just gets stuck with you, man. It just gets fucking stuck with you. So yeah, for me, definitely the hook. Definitely the hook, 100%. Um, but writing in general is a close second, just because of the subject and how well like Onwuka does like writing about like simple topics, right? Uh, so yeah, for me, definitely the hook, but writing's a close second for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk about the lyric video. So, again, much like the previous lyric videos, the visuals behind the lyrics are so on point that I have yet to see a lyric video that kind of doesn't hit the mark, right? But this one totally does for me, especially with like some of the black and white footage. A lot of the like space like Cosmo footage, like there's a very like um light speed space kind of vibe here, obviously, right, with the song, but for the lyric video itself, this is another one where like they just go above and beyond for some of the content to like become super clear. You know what I mean? Like super super fucking clear. So I'm really a fan of this kind of style, and it does nothing but like um really like up the quality of the song. Like it truly truly does. You know what I mean? I want to make a song with Onwuka. Onwuka Drama Eyes, that would be crazy. That would be definitely fucking crazy. You guys should definitely collab for sure. Um, but yeah, I love the background visuals. The foreground is always something that's so on point with these type of Onwuka lyric videos, 100%. But again, the lyrics I think are the shining star here. You know what I mean? They're flashy, they're on screen, they're popping up, they're going back and forth. They have this like pizzazz to them that you don't see often in other lyric videos. Because like I always say, I don't think it's doing too much. I think it's doing just enough to make like people pay attention and hook you in, right? And that's what's important for some of these. But they all come out extremely well, you know. So I like this direction a lot. So with that said, huge shout out to Onwuka. Make sure you go sub to their channel. They're 8 subs away from 60. And of course, make sure you go follow Onwuka on Twitter. They are 5 followers away from 760. Make sure you go show them some love from the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good jazz is available. So go show the channel some love, man. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Let's get it. So, up next is the homie David Ilori, man. It's been, I think, like a couple weeks since we heard from David, a recently first time submitting artist, coming back around for their second track, a super super talented hip hop vocalist submitted On You Freestyle. Let's see what we got here. I am down. I am definitely down. All right, 10 days ago, super super new. Let's get into it. David Ilori, On You Freestyle. Let's go.
The closer the better, you know this shit effortless. Swing like the Navy. Swing for the majors, you know that you worth it. You know that you got it, man, that shit ain't nothing. Fire in my lungs, fire in my soul. Fire in my lungs, fire in my heart, babe. Could cool it down for you, but I can't. You want me if I did.
Damn. Fuck with this? Definitely. Okay. It definitely has that like love song freestyle kind of vibe, you know? So I definitely fuck with it for sure. I agree. So, okay. So let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of the track. So, let's talk instrumental. Instrumental's great, to be honest with you. I love the bass on this. Like the drums are such a highlight here. Because it's such a slow R&B kind of vibe that the drums kind of bring all the grit for sure. But the mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Nothing that like ultimately throws the track off realistically. Especially this being David's second submission. Definitely a another solid mix, to be honest with you. Again, nothing that ultimately like really hindered the track at all. As far as the instrumental mix goes. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, I do feel like it could be the melody, right? But the drums are just bringing the grit and the raw emotion that I think this track needs, right? Because melodies, you know, bringing the emotion, but the drums are bringing like the rawness to this track for sure. So for me, definitely drums. Instrumental solid. Vocals. Let's talk vocal mix. A solid vocal mix, especially for like a freestyle-esque kind of track, right? Like these are some of like the B-sides, kind of like, you know, not like, you know, you kind of cook these up in like a day kind of deal. You know what I mean? Quick little freestyle, post it up, you're all good. So I feel like the mix definitely like reflects that, and I like that a lot about this, just because it's like you'd rather put out the song than like spend 3 weeks on like a fucking mix trying to get it right for just like a freestyle esque kind of like, not throwaway, but something extra. You know what I mean? So the mix for where it's at is good. Nothing super clashy, nothing like overbearing at all. Drums definitely cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice, and it brings like a lot of ambience. You know, it has this like nighttime night ride kind of vibe. So vocal mix solid. Vocal Shining Star. Hmm. Hmm. You know, I could say writing, but I think flow and cadence and delivery is really something that shines here, just because it is more of like a slow R&B s kind of vibe, you know. So I'm gonna go with flow and cadence and delivery. That made this like kind of a slow, understand the theme kind of thing, you know. Definitely. So instrumental solid, definitely drums, vocal solid, the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, kind of had the default profile picture cover here, so this can always be replaced afterwards. But again, it's always like a solid one because it's like it's a personal pick, you know what I mean? So, these always do well when it comes down to like, just like regular kind of tracks you don't want to like promote super hard, right? But again, can always be changed. Overall theme. So I wouldn't say that there's like a crazy overall theme that sticks out here, right? Like obviously it's a very like love centered track, right? But it's also bringing that freestyle kind of vibe. So it's mixing like a lot of bars with a lot of like real raw emotion, right? So I feel like David is kind of like mixing the two really well. Because you're getting a little bit of both here, you know? You definitely have like those like more intricate kind of punchlines, but also at the end of the day it's a very love emotion personal driven song, you know what I mean? So I feel like David like rode the line really well here, and didn't make it like it wasn't like overly emotional, right? It wasn't like a sappy love song, but it definitely had its like love elements, and then it kind of had like the raw elements as well. um so well done, well done. So with that said, huge shout out to David. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow David on SoundCloud. They're one follower away from 80, so go show them some love. And of course, make sure you follow David on the cloud or on Twitter. They are 3 followers away from 290, so go show some love on the Bird app as well. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there, man. So go show these artists in the channel some motherfucking love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays for supporting our channel. Much love. I see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. Okay, so we just left off with the homie David. Up next is Mac 2 Times. Now it's been a couple weeks since we heard from Mac 2 Times, but a super talented hip hop vocalist submitted Static Shock. The last submission that they had was really fucking crazy and really well done. So I'm excited to see what Mac brings for us this week, for sure. Oh, we got a little private track here too. I'm down. Okay, I am so down. Shit, bro, I gotta go buy some cables, so I'm gonna step out. But love you and thanks for the show. Yeah, of course, my friend. Of course. Be safe, enjoy yourself. Let me know how the setup goes. I'll be around. But I appreciate you. Let's fucking get it, baby. So yeah, we have a little private track here from the homie Mac 2 Times. Static Shock. So exclusive Music Mondays premiere, unreleased Mac 2 Times. Let's go. I'm down.
Hey, Shark, talk to me.
Niggas want static, well I got some brothers and if it get they might just let it shock. Always competing, ain't scared of nobody. If you opposition, you finna get mobbed. Won't hesitate to cut you niggas off. Could be in the picture, next day you get cropped. Money addiction and won't ever stop. You know I'm a fiend, cause I need a lot. Niggas want static, well I got some brothers and if it get they might just let it shock. Always competing, ain't scared of nobody. If you opposition, you finna get mobbed. Won't hesitate to cut you niggas off. Could be in the picture, next day you get cropped. Money addiction and won't ever stop. You know I'm a fiend, cause I need a lot. Yeah, I'm a fiend, I need a lot. Yeah, I'm a fiend, I need some more. Treating the cash just like I'm a stripper, just me, I ain't leaving one thing on the floor. I'm knowing my brothers trust me with the rock. I'm leading the group like Leonardo. If it's fourth quarter, I won't ever choke. If it's fourth quarter, I won't ever sell. If you're not with us, I'm giving you hell. Running these beats like I'm running from 12. I'm teaching that student, I won't ever fail. Leave you in the dust, I'm in front of the trail. Boy try to sneak me, he missed and he failed. He already lost, started ringing the bell. Teenage Mutant Turtles, my niggas got shells. They leaving you shocked, put you up in the chair.
The shock bars are crazy.
Niggas want static, well I got some brothers and if it get there, they might just let it shock. Always competing, ain't scared of nobody. If you opposition, you finna get mobbed. Won't hesitate to cut you niggas off. Could be in the picture, next day you get cropped. Money addiction, it won't ever stop. You know I'm a fiend, cause I need a lot. Niggas want static, well I got some brothers and if it get there, they might just let it shock. Always competing, ain't scared of nobody. If you opposition, you finna get mobbed. Won't hesitate to cut you niggas off. Could be in the picture, next day you get cropped. Money addiction, it won't ever stop. You know I'm a fiend, cause I need a lot. I need a lot, I need a lot, I need a lot, I need a lot.
Letting the beat ride out here was a really good choice. Kind of lets you like feel the track, you know? I like the structure of that a lot. Like, I feel like Mac is like really like pushed for so many new like just new improvements in all aspects of their music, man. Like it's crazy as fuck. But let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Static Shock. Relatively simple theme, but you guys know the drill. We're still gonna break it down 100%. Well, not simple, but one of those themes that's like very common tonight of like doubling down on like subjects that like you start simple and then you kind of like go crazy with it. I think Mac did a really good job with that. But let's talk instrumental. Very Mac 2x type beat for sure. But the mix is solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Nothing that really like ultimately stuck out to me as like off at all. Drums are good. Sound selection is good. Vocals sit nice. Nothing thinking back on it that I would have any personal gripes with. I think the drums in particular are really solid too. So yeah, instrumental mix definitely solid. Hmm. Instrumental Shining Star. I really like the melody, but the drums are just unforgettable. You know what I mean? The drums just really hit that perfect stride of like bringing the noise for sure. But again, it's not doing too much, right? Like I think the 808s are perfect. I think the sound selection is perfect. Like nothing that really like throws me off, right? So for me, got to be the drums. Got to be the drums, but the melody is a close second for sure. And the structure is definitely an underrated part here that you could totally talk about. But we're gonna go drums. Definitely gonna go drums. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocals. Mix is great. Mac has had like a really good lock on their mix when it comes down to pretty much every track recently. You know what I mean? They've come so far with their mix and how they like to mix their vocals. So it's super well done. Definitely no gripes here at all. You know, if you take Mac's tracks like in 2022 or 2023, then you compare them now, their mixing has just gone like above and beyond, man. Like really above and beyond. So definitely no gripes with the vocal mix. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice. Nothing to really gripe about. So vocal mix definitely solid. Vocal Shining Star. Could very well be the flow and cadence and delivery. I like the writing and the hook is definitely like super catchy, but the writing is definitely like really up there for sure. Hook is a close second, but yeah, we're definitely gonna go writing. 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Static Shock cover. I mean, come on, man. Like you have like a really solid image of Static Shock. Like I don't think, like, come on, it's obviously like one of the only choices, right? Like it's such a good choice for a track called Static Shock, right? Definitely a dope superhero. Definitely a dope concept. But Most importantly, it's very relevant to the track. So I like the choice. Definitely like the choice. Overall theme, kind of like what we discussed earlier, where certain artists have this like writing ability where they can take like a simple topic like Static Shock, right, and just kind of develop punchlines and bars and lyrics around it and just double down and really take this smaller kind of broad subject and just really break it down. Like really, really fucking break it down. And I think Mac really did that here with Static Shock. Definitely a really solid like hype, get up, go get money, get motivated, montage s kind of track for sure. So it's definitely going to give you that energy, but at the same time, it's still staying to its core with the Static Shock bars, right? Especially in the hook. So well done. Well done, Mac. Make sure you go follow Mac 2 times on SoundCloud, and thank you so much for your submission. And of course, make sure you follow Mac 2 times on Twitter. They are 2 followers away from 170, so go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good jazz over there, man. So go show these artists and the channel some love. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Okay, so up next would be the homie Drama Eyes, but they were actually the first submission tonight because they are a Music Mondays Patreon. If you'd like more information on the Patreon, definitely go check out the Music Mondays Patreon and go show some love over there as well. But huge shout out to Dry My Eyes, and thank you so much for your submission again, my friend. Up next is the homie Ozzy Bug. They've had a really solid rollout for their latest project, and they're back again with Henry the Caterpillar official music video. This is gonna be crazy. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th video that Ozzy has submitted, because they've had like a really solid project rollout, and they've just been doing a really solid job in 2024, like ultimately pushing themselves. You know what I mean? So I'm down. Henry the Caterpillar. So we're gonna pop this open a new tab. Give it a quick pause. Full volume. Go 720. Check credits. Created by Ozzy Bug. Shot by Ozzy Bug. Edited by Ozzy Bug. Set design by Ozzy Bug. Clay figures by Evan and Ozzy. Stream a Bug Culture Subculture. SoundCloud song description. This is my stab at a Beatles type song. Impressions of all four included in my harmonies. Oh, okay. About my first ever friend at Caterpillar that I named Henry. The Beatles White Album was also my first CD, so all this was fun, indulgent, sentimental, mushy piece. Okay, so it was very like a very personal piece. Lyrics and performance, Ozzy Bug. Wow. Okay. All right. To Pimp a Henry Pillar. Holy shit. Okay, so lots of love in the comments. Let's get into it. Ozzy Bug, Henry the Caterpillar official music video. Let's go. This is crazy already. Dude. Okay. Where'd Henry go, man? Fuck. That was kind of sad. That was definitely kind of sad. Where the fuck is Henry? God damn it. Okay, much to dissect here, man. That was great. That was probably one of the most creative music videos we've seen in all of 2024. We've had a couple really solid ones, but nothing that even comes close to like stop motion esque kind of filming, right? Like this is insane. This is definitely like a crazy ass concept. So, let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Henry the Caterpillar. Well, actually, no, scratch that. We're not gonna talk about the theme. We're gonna talk about the music video for sure. So instrumental, vocals, music video. So, let's talk instrumental. I do see the Beatles inspo here a lot, especially like in the more like melodic parts and like the hook, and it has this like very like early kind of vibe to it, but it's obviously very modern, right? So it's doing a really good job blending, and it definitely starts with the instrumental. And the mix is solid, nothing clashing to overbearing, nothing that like sticks out in the instrumental that's like off-putting or anything. Again, especially for like more of the melodic parts, I think it works out really well. Um, so definitely no gripes here whatsoever. When it comes to the instrumental mix. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, drums are solid, but the melody is really what's bringing this like nostalgic childhood like vibe that I think Ozzy was going for here. You know what I mean? Especially mixing with like the Beatles esque like sound. For me, got to be the melody. I think drums are a close second though. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. So this is a not like a different type of vocal mix, but Ozzy definitely went with a little bit more processing here to kind of give that more like electronic throwback, um, pitched up effect, which I think it's perfect where it is. Like anymore, it could have been thrown off the vibe of the song, but I think right where it's at is very Ozzy bug mixed with like the sound that they were going for. You know what I mean? So I do feel like the vocal mix is like right on point for where it is. Um, Nothing clashing to overbearing there either. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals definitely sit nice. Yeah, ultimately nothing that really hinders the vocal mix at all. Definitely not. Especially for like the vision and the style that they were going for. So yeah, definitely a solid vocal mix. Vocal Shining Star. You know, it could be the writing in general. I feel like the writing overall was really solid because this was nothing but a story. You know what I mean? And like sometimes writing a story in the form of a song can be fucking incredibly difficult, right? So I feel like they did a good job, kind of blending both, right? It has like a story, but it has like a couple of like bars and punchlines where it's like okay, you know. So it's a fine like ride, but I think writing overall is really solid. Um, the hook is actually a close second. I definitely think the hook is definitely up there, but the writing overall is great. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk about the music video. So again, I think this was one of the most unique videos I've seen in a while, as far as like a music video goes, right? Because you have lyric videos, you have visuals, you have things that are like a little different, but you don't see anybody doing stop motion like this anymore for like a concept like this, right? This is one of the cooler ones that I've seen just because it's like you can work within your budget, like you don't need $1 million fucking dollars to get this done. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's what's really cool about this too. But at the same time, I ultimately think like the theme is so like nostalgic and like healing your inner child almost. You know what I mean? So it almost had to be something like this because it's very like story-esque driven, you know what I mean? So if you're telling a story about when you're a child, like what better way to actually do it than something maybe even a child would enjoy. You know what I mean? Like you could show a kid this music video and they would probably like it a lot. You know what I mean? Just because claymation is not something that's like it's it's pretty rare these days, and then when it is done, it's not the greatest, you know what I mean? So this is one where it's like, okay, like somebody actually did something cool for once with a concept like this. So I feel like the music video really shines. The Shining Star is definitely the concept, no doubt. Like I feel like the concept of it all is really creative. And you know, sometimes you gotta think outside the box. And Ozzy and Co were definitely thinking outside the box here, for sure. Well done, my friend. Make sure you go subscribe to Ozzy's channel on Twitter or on YouTube. They are 5 subs away from 90, so go show them some love over there. And of course, make sure you follow them on Twitter. They are 3 followers away from 240, so go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz is available. Make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Let's go. So, let's continue on. We left off with the homie Ozzy. Up next would be homie Jordan, but we already reacted to Jordan because Jordan is a Music Mondays Patreon. So huge shout out to Jordan. Make sure you watch the beginning of the show to see Jordan's submission. Absolutely. So, up next we have Gross, not Gross Hip Hop. Now, this was a first time submitting artist like a couple weeks ago, but this is their second submission. A super talented hip hop vocalist submitted I Need Help interlude. Let's see what we got here. I'm down. I believe, okay, yeah, so this is off their project, Chronicles of a Lost Soul, Volume 1, 12 songs. I believe we reacted to, I forget which one it was. It was either, it was Ben Blessed, yeah, because they linked their whole album. So, we just went with Ben Blessed, I remember now, okay. But the track that they submitted tonight was I Need Help interlude. 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Gross, let's go.
Not sure where I'ma find it. Having memories and I constantly rewind it. Demons that I talk about constantly been hiding, and I'm not gonna fight him. It's a pawn against a giant, and when I fucking die, I hope that it'll be violent. Blood up on the floor, and then everything is vibrant. Hope they start a riot, and everything is silent. And once I fucking die, I know that you'll be smiling. But damn, I'm depressed again. Really been a wreck again. Just another day is left again. But it's a party when I'm stepping in. Ain't nobody checking in. When hate, I'm just collecting in. But all black is what I'm dressing in. Like, always have a place in my motherfucking heart, Jack. But how am I supposed to move on if I ain't got my heart back? Trying to move on, but I don't know where to start at. Took down all my walls, like, where the fuck my guard at? There's a blood trail from the basement to the kitchen. I got sink is my buddy, put pressure on my arm. My buddy's about to pass out. His bites, the cops or whatever. And I just start thinking, EMTs come in and the sheriffs come in. End for me? Is this how I go out? Leave on a stretcher. My arm all bandaged up and shit. Have a place in my motherfucking heart, Jack. But how am I supposed to move on if I ain't got my heart back? Trying to move on, but I don't know where to start at. Took down all my walls, like, where the fuck my guard at?
Okay. Definitely see the vision here. Definitely. Alright. A very, like, personal kind of track, right? For sure. So let's dive into it. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of I Need Help. So, let's talk instrumental. A very appropriate instrumental for a track like this. I definitely feel like this hit the mark when it comes to like having like a simple, emotional, kind of like pay attention instrumental. So I feel like this mark definitely got hit for sure. So instrumental mix, really solid to be honest with you. Nice and clear, clean, crisp, straight to the point. Nothing that like really hindered the track or anything like that. Vocals sat nice, drums cut through nicely, melody was great. Yeah, definitely no gripes for this, especially for like what kind of track this is. So instrumental mix is definitely solid. Instrumental shining star. Got to be the melody. I feel like the melody is what's leaving the impact here a lot. I feel like the melody is very like um very appropriate for this kind of track, and it's the part that's gonna stick with you, right? So I feel like the melody is definitely up there. Um, but I feel like structure's also a close second, but definitely melody for me, definitely. Um, so instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Now I did find it a little like raw at first. It seemed like unprocessed, but I do remember that like their first track that they did it was a little in that style too. So it's probably a stylistic thing, right? But I don't think it again like hindered the song or anything like that. But that is one thing I did notice. But as it goes on, it definitely has a little bit more processing and a few backing vocals and things like that, and a few layers. Um, so for what it is, definitely solid, and it leaves in a lot of the emotion, so that's a plus for this kind of track. So vocal mix definitely up to par. Vocal shining star. Um, Probably the writing. I feel like it was very honest writing, and it takes a lot for an artist to kind of like be that honest on paper. And then it's another thing to actually even put it out. So definitely writing for me, definitely. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. We already gave some thoughts on Chronicles of a Lost Soul Volume 1, but again, I really like this concept for a project, right? Just because a lot of these personal like IRL covers always fucking hit really nicely. But this one screams project to me, so I definitely feel like it's project worthy for sure. And then little parental advisory bottom right, you're all good to go. You know what I mean? So I definitely like this one a lot. Totally screams project to me, and very project worthy. Overall theme of I need help. So realistically, I think a lot of artists kind of have at least one of these songs in their library where they just go on an emotional rampage, right? Because sometimes that's what music is for. And, you know, all artists need to remember that they are artists, right? So you need to be using music sometimes in a healthy way. And this is one of the more healthier ways to use music, right? Because you're not being reckless, you're not hurting anybody, you're not hurting yourself, but you're putting these like very vivid, real, and raw thoughts on paper, recording it and releasing it. You know what I mean? So it's somewhat of a form of therapy, right? But again, I definitely think these tracks are like important, right? Because it's a very like self-reflecting too, right? Because you can like look back on it in a year and be like, damn, I was in a dark place when I put this out. You know, like I've definitely done that myself personally. So it's one of those things that like I feel like it's necessary for an artist early on or even at any point to really like dive into these emotional topics, even if it is like of themselves or somebody else or anything like that. So sometimes you got to get these thoughts out in a healthy way, and I feel like this is one of those for sure. So well done, my friend, well done. Make sure you go follow Gross on Spotify, and of course make sure you follow them on Twitter. They are 5 followers away from 450, so go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some motherfucking love, man. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you for supporting Music Mondays, my friends. Let's go. So, all right. We left off with the homie Gross. Up next is the homie Jay Streets. I believe we reacted to them for the first time last week. So, I'm very interested to see what they have this week for sure. But they submitted Ollie. So let's go. I'm down for the cause. 2021, so not super new, but not super old either. This is track 6 of a 8-track project. I'm down. All right, let's get into it. Jay Streets, Ollie.
Street is here with another one. Let's see no new. Holy, tip my head to run away. Holy, Olufemi no go far away. Yeah, yeah. Olere oh, no. She want to go on a holiday. Yeah, yeah. Olere oh. I beg you leave my kele. Tempted to touch, oh. Show my body daily, cause girl you're my crush, oh yeah. Tempted to touch, oh. Show my body daily, cause girl you're my crush, oh yeah. Girl you are wicked, you got me addicted, oh. Yeah. Loving na pretense, you got me addicted, oh. And your body so twisted, yeah, you got me addicted, oh. Number one, you can't play then. Got me addicted, oh. Hey, oh yeah. But in you are mine. Yeah, yeah. Your body calling. Like I'll make you the door, me, yeah. Oh yeah. But in you are mine, yeah. Your body calling. I no go leave you, yeah, run away. Cause on a doka, na I go do. Ask Chiamaka, I no send the Jew. And if you follow you do, say you don't say now you I choose. Oh, yeah. Ole, take my heart over run away. Ole, Olufemi no go far away. Yeah, yeah. Ole, she want to go on a holiday. Yeah, yeah. Ole, I beg you leave my kele. Tempted to touch, oh. Show my body daily, cause girl you're my crush, oh yeah. Tempted to touch, oh. Show my body daily, cause girl you're my crush, oh yeah.
I'm gonna get it to make sense, oh yeah. This your only breakfast, oh. You do me like Porto. You too fresh like Zagale. I am down to the condo.
Oh baby, come and cure my madness today. Take my love, baby, come and cure my madness today. Oh baby, come and cure my madness today. Take my love, baby, come and cure my madness today. Ole, take my heart to run away. Ole, Olufemi no go far away. Ole, she want to go on a holiday. Ole, I beg you leave my kele. Tempted to touch, oh. Show my body daily, cause girl you're my crush, oh yeah. Tempted to touch, oh. Show my body daily, cause girl you're my crush, oh yeah. The love I love you, you know be for pretense, so me I go do anything just to make you smile, baby. Oh baby, come and cure my madness today. Take my love, baby, come and cure my madness today. Baby Moshende,
Diesel on the mix.
MD Lori Bito.
Okay. Yeah, reading up on the bio, yeah, it definitely has that like Afrobeat dance hall mixed with like real like hip hop house-esque kind of sounds. So I feel like Jay did a really good job here. Especially with it being from 2021, right? Like this is one of those gems that like you make years ago that like maybe didn't get the attention that it deserved. But now we're gonna give it the attention for sure. All right, so we're gonna talk about three things here. We'll talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Oli. So, instrumental. Self-produced, I assume, right? Because that's what the bio says. But if not, whoever the producer was definitely killed it. Mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Lots of like really wide, open sounds, right? Like really, really out there. So yeah, I'm really big on this mix. Again, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing that really like stuck out to me that was off. Super crisp, clean, clear, straight to the point. You know what I mean? Like it's a very well done mix for sure. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. You know, I'm big on the drums, right? I'm definitely big on the drums, but I feel like the melodies here are really crazy. The melodies again give that like summer dance-esque kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Like it really brings out like that, high energy. So for me it's got to be the melody for sure. Um so instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Fantastic, especially for almost probably like a 3-year-old song now at this point, right? So this is kind of an insight on like some of their earlier work. And I totally feel like the mix is right where it needs to be. For sure. It's right where it needs to be, not even a question. One of those mixes that's like very melodic but still very like natural and crisp and clean, so it's kind of hitting all the boxes when it comes to like this specific style. So yeah, no gripes with this at all. Nothing really hindering it. Like I said, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sit nice. Everything cuts through nicely. Nothing that really like is like super crazy here. As far as things that are like off-putting, right? So, um, vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star. So this is quite the mix of like English and other lyrics, right? So this is like a very like mixed bag. And I do feel like the hook is one thing that no matter who you are, that's gonna be the thing that like gets stuck in your head. Not even a question. It's gotta be the mix. 100%. Um yeah, definitely the mix. Um or the hook, I mean. Yeah. The hook like the thing is like on the first listen, you can immediately tell that it's gonna be one of those hooks that you're like, okay, like I could see somebody wanting to throw this on in the car, like as soon as they get in the car. Especially if you're like into this kind of style, right? And like you love this kind of genre. Yeah, the hook, definitely the hook. Sure. The instrumental solid, definitely the melodies, vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, The Traveler. Um, what a fucking great cover this is. What a fucking great cover this is. Simple, high quality, parental advisory in the bottom right. You got the IRL picture in the center, the fonts at the top. It definitely screams project to me, but it could be a single too. But either way, I feel like the aesthetics are very on point here. For this, for sure. Now, overall theme. I wouldn't say that there's like one that's like super like standoutish, right? I definitely think it's like a very like um simple, good-hearted, wholesome kind of like not wholesome, but kind of like a good vibe kind of track, right? Like definitely a summer club track, definitely a late night summer track, definitely one of those tracks that's like it's gonna put you in a good mood regardless, and that's what J Streets is all about. Like they have submitted, I think, twice now to the show, and every time it's always been these upward, uplifting kind of like good time, good vibe kind of feel, So, well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Jay Streets. Thank you so much for this submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Jay on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Jay on Twitter. They're approaching 4.1K on the Bird app. So go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there, man. So go show these artists in the channel some let's get it, baby. And of course, huge shout out to everybody that's already subscribed to the channel, showing love to the channel, all that good jazz. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you. So, with that said, that concludes episode 177 of the Music Mondays podcast. Huge shout out to everybody that came through, showed love, submitted, tuned in. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you. So let's close it out. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Let's talk about some shout outs. Let's talk about a lot of things. So, let's get into it. So with that said, huge shout out to everybody that tuned in and showed motherfucking love tonight, man. Huge shout out to Dry My Eyes. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps. You guys are fucking amazing. Much love. TDG, what's good? Yeah, we're just about to end the show, my friend. Yep, just about to end the show. But definitely tune in next week for sure, 100%. But yeah, huge shout out to everybody in the chat. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps, Marco Pernice, Offspring Mysterious, Survival Negativity, Brayden, On Wuka, David, Mac 2 times, Dry My Eyes, Ozzy Bug, Jordan, Gross, J Streets, and everybody else that submitted tonight. You guys are amazing. But what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? Let's get into it. So, like I said, submissions are currently closed for Cyberfest, or for Carrying Cases of the Mondays. We will be announcing the track list this Friday, June 14th. So make sure you follow the socials and stay tuned, because it's going to be a stacked fucking album, man. Like, a stacked fucking album. Make sure you get ready for that. And of course, we still have Music Mondays merch available right now. We have smalls, mediums, and larges. Double XL and XL are currently sold out. So let us know if you'd like us to cop a few more of those, or if you'd like to cop a shirt right now. Definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, all that good jazz. But following the album, like I said at the start of the show, we have Cyberfest 2 talks going down right now. So we're trying to figure out a date and all that good jazz, and who's going to tune in, and who's going to attend, and who's going to perform. So a couple really major Music Mondays things going on right now. Lots of really, really good stuff going down as well. But with that said, huge shout out to everybody that came through, showed love. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted and tuned in. Submissions open for next week's episode of the Music Mondays podcast, episode 178, tomorrow. So if you're watching this live, submissions open Tuesday the 11th. If you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere else, submissions are already open. So make sure you go drop your track and all that good jazz, my friends. But of course, you can find this episode on all audio platforms this Thursday, the 13th, and of course, it'll be on YouTube this Saturday. Make sure you look out, make sure you go show some love, and make sure you tune in and go show these artists some love. And of course, make sure you follow Music Mondays on all platforms at All Music Mondays, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Tumblr, literally everywhere at All Music Mondays. Make sure you go show us some love on your favorite platform. And of course, like I said, make sure you follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below. Follow me at Dom Slays. We are live quite literally every single day, Monday through Saturday. We're playing games, streams, podcasts, watch parties, chatting, all that good jazz, man. So make sure you go follow and subscribe below. Everything linked below, socials, all that good jazz linked down below. And we will be live tomorrow, per usual, for a regular stream. So get into it, my friends. Let's fucking go. I'll be live tomorrow. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow, subscribe below, everything linked below, all socials, all the good jazz. Episode 178 will be live next week on the 17th, so make sure you get your submissions in tomorrow. And again, huge shout out to everybody that came through, showed love, and be safe. I'm your boy Zom Slays. This is Music Mondays, and this is the Music Mondays podcast. We'll see you next week. Let's fucking get it, baby.